Hello, friends. Welcome to another episode of the Trevor Ohlsen Show, episode number 74, on Wednesday, July 14th, 2021. I'm your kind of tired host for the evening, the afternoon, the day, the night, the Trevor Ohlsen. Pleasure to be here. As always, what's going on? Don't forget to try to throw this in here from now on. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the old likety-like button. Hit the notification bell and stick around. All right, great. Got that out of the way. What's going on? I'll be honest, as previously stated, a little sleepy today. Not sure why. I had a good night's sleep last night. Did the sauna this morning. Maybe it's because I just had a huge breakfast, like I always do. I always feel a little sluggish after I eat breakfast. And I was going to come down here like I did last Wednesday and jump straight into recording because I've been working on this track, which I'm really excited about. And I just totally forgot to record the podcast last week for the first time. I've been doing it for almost a year now, and just forgot and just recorded the song instead. So I don't regret it because the song is coming along lovely. It's very good. And I came right down here to do the vocals today, and it's probably a good thing that I have to do the podcast because it's 11 in the morning here, and my voice isn't really that warmed up yet because I'm not really doing talking in the morning. I'm by myself for the majority of the morning, and then I'm kind of listening to podcasts or books throughout the day, so throughout the morning rather. I'm not really talking to anybody in the morning, so my voice isn't really warmed up, so I figured some shouting, some yelling, some energy to wake up here, blow out the mic, should get my voice thoroughly warmed up so I can record some vocals today. I'm most what's the word? Nervous? Maybe not nervous, but I'm recording vocals sometimes, at least like the main vocal line. It's like my least favorite part of recording, which a lot of people kind of find ironic because I'm a singer, but it's like the most pressure for me. Because it's the main line, it's the top line, it's the main thing that everyone's going to be paying attention to, and I just want it to be perfect, and it never is perfect, and I have to consciously and constantly remind myself to let it not be perfect in order for me to even record. Otherwise, I won't even let myself record. Because I get way too in my own head. So I have to constantly be telling myself while I'm recording, like, hey, just let it be. Hey, you're doing good, buddy. That's it. There you go, bud. There you go. Good job, Trevor. That's it. There you go. Good. And then it usually turns out pretty good. So I have to remind myself to give myself permission today to let the vocals be imperfect, still do my best. And when I do my vocals, I always basically, it's just taking a step forward in the right direction the first day. It's laying down the foundation. So say I do 5 takes of every section. So 5 takes for the first verse, 5 takes for the chorus, 5 takes for the second verse, 5 takes, and so on and so forth. I then go back through and piece all of them together so that it sounds, all those 5 takes combined sound as best as it possibly can. And then I go back through the next day and I start I do it even more, and I fix things that need fixing, or I change things that need changing. Now, background vocals or harmonies, I have like no problem doing those. Some harmonies are a bit more complex, but they are definitely not as upfront as everything else, especially background vocals. So there's not as much pressure to really like nail it, so to speak. Don't mind me, hold on. So that's the lesson for the day. Don't try to make things perfect. It doesn't work out. It doesn't work out. I was in the sauna this morning. Good to be back in there. I was not in there on Tuesday because I was in Escanaba all day yesterday. Did the old. Oh yeah, I got shit in my lungs. Great. Let's do vocals today. See, this is why I'm talking. I'm clearing everything up, clearing out the pipes. I trained 13 people yesterday, which was an incredible success, really. It was a good day. Did that, and then afterwards went to Moe's Pub, and which is probably it's slowly but surely becoming my favorite place to eat food in Escanaba. It's definitely my go-to. It's near Stonehouse, and it's right on the main strip, and it's not far from the gym. So, well, nothing's really far in Escanaba or Iron Mountain or kind of anywhere. Even Escanaba's not far from Iron Mountain. It's an hour, whatever. But I went there, had the shrimp tacos. If you haven't been, I recommend them. Had the shrimp tacos and ended up talking with a couple guys. I would just go sit at the bar and get fucked up. No, it's been a long time since I've had a drink, like any alcohol. Let's find out how many days it's been. Ready? How many days ago was May 5th, 2020? I haven't had... Oh, can you just give me an answer? Are you fucking kidding me? I'm using DuckDuckGo here. Maybe if I switch back to the standard Google. I was on DuckDuckGo because I wanted to see some actual results, and Google was just giving me, Google results. There's a difference. How many days ago? Here we go. How many? It was May 5th, 2020. It just fucking brought me back to DuckDuckGo. Damn it! How many days ago was May 5th, 2020? There we go. 435 days ago. Wow! Sober 435 days. Feeling great. Definitely, that's something. I remember, I'm a big fan of Bill Burr, and I remember him saying on his podcast that he hadn't drank anything in 500 days. And I was like, wow, that's crazy. That's a long time. And he was like, it's not a long time, but it is a long time if you drink and you're trying not to. But that's the thing now. It's not like I'm trying not to drink. I just don't drink anymore. So that's just kind of what's happened. And I'm definitely happier because of it. But anyway, I don't know where I was even going with all that. I was sitting at the bar at Moe's Pub in Escanaba, and talked with this gentleman, Jeff, who he recognized me. He's like, "You the singer?" And I was like, "That's me." And he's like, "Oh, you got that $1 million smile." And I was like, "Oh, thanks." Because I told him, I was like, I'm surprised you recognized me because I shaved all my hair off. Because I ran into someone the other day who I know, and she hadn't seen me in a while. And we were like 2 feet in front of each other, and I looked at her, eye to eye, and she just looked at me. And I was like, "Hey!" And then I hugged her, and she was like, and we hugged, and I could tell she didn't know who I was yet. And then she looked at me, she's like, "Oh my God, you shaved your hair." And I was like, "Yes, yeah, I did." So, but this dude recognized me and stroked my ego. He's like, "Oh, you got that $1 million smile." But funny, his daughter was also a singer. She lives in Nashville now, from Escanaba, if I'm not mistaken. And she was on The Voice. So that was cool. He's like, "Yeah, you guys should hook up. Connect and whatever." So probably will in the future sometime. That was cool. And then I ended up talking with this dude named Donnie, and he was really cool. We started talking about all sorts of things: the school system, aliens, like many different subjects and topics of interesting discussion. But we got on aliens because the other day, and I'll share this with you guys, because I don't think the aliens are going to come probe my asshole. The other day, I was driving back from Escanaba, and I will say this, admittedly, I was quite tired, and it was kind of late. It was like after 10 o'clock at night. I had worked all day, so I was getting sleepy. It was dark. It's an hour drive on the way back, and I I've had moments in my past where I get very tired while driving, and it's almost like I start to see things and that which aren't there. This could have been that. I don't think it was. Um, but getting that out of the way, being transparent with you guys, I saw. So I'm driving down the road, and I can see the sky in front of me. There's also trees as well, so I can't see the whole sky, but I can see a large chunk of it. And all of a sudden, this red dot, just a dot, just goes. Which way? Which way did it go? It went this way. In my line of sight, it went from right to left, and it just went across the whole sky. Just went, and I was like, "What was that?" And then all of a sudden, same light, a different direction. So it was like right to left, and then backwards to forwards in the sky, just, and that was it. And it was just this red dot that I saw. I've seen like meteors and other, I've seen shooting stars. I've seen, and maybe it was that, but just the fact that it was like there was no tail behind it or anything, and it was just right to left, and then like 2 to 3 seconds later, it was just backwards to front, backwards forwards, and like it had gone like done this whole thing, because it looked looked exactly like the same light, and it was weird. It was weird. I remember thinking, I'm like, what was that? I have no idea what that was. And I've had a few experiences like that. By no means have I seen anything extraterrestrial, unfortunately. That'd be cool. But I've seen a few things in the skies, plural, in the sky, which we all have, where you're like, huh, like, what's that? What was that? And that was one of them, and that was just last Thursday, so 6 days ago. And it was interesting. It makes you wonder what's up there, up in the heavens, that ever-expanding space that we really don't know much about at all. Wasn't there some sort of discovery, like dark matter, something like that, but it's like not visible or measurable? I have no idea. Let's look that up. That's a good topic. Dark matter discovery. Pre-workout. There's a dark matter pre-workout apparently. Let's see. I saw Russell Brand recently talking about it. Yeah, what recent dark matter recent discovery. An international team of researchers, this is kind of recent, let's see, has created the largest and most detailed map of the distribution of so-called dark matter in the universe. Dark matter is an invisible substance that permeates space. It accounts for 80% of the matter in the universe. It's so funny they can just throw that's 80%. 80%. It's invisible and we just discovered it. We don't really know what it is, but it's 80%. We know that for a fact. It's just like, well, maybe it's 80% coming from, a singer-songwriter. What is the latest theory on dark matter? As its name suggests, dark matter, material which makes up about 85% of the mass, now it's 85, a 5% increase in a matter of seconds, in a matter of one article change to the next. I'm going to write an article and suggest that dark matter makes up 90% of the universe. It emits no light, eluding easy detection. Its properties, too, remain fairly obscure. We don't really know anything. That's what we know. Has dark matter been discovered yet? It's like saying, has Bigfoot been discovered yet? According to the mathematical models, it makes up, blah, 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 but it's never been seen or fully explained. So it's basically unseen, unmeasurable currently with the instruments that we have, with the senses we have. Yeah. Okay, makes sense. What would happen if dark matter didn't exist? Oh, we don't know because we don't know what it is. If all dark matter disappeared, stars on the edge of galaxies would begin to drift out of the galaxies over time. Once the gravitational effect of dark matter had fully disappeared, stars at the edge would start leaving their host galaxies. Doubt it. Doubt it. Doubt it. Don't think so. We don't know what this is. They're just making it up. Let's see some pictures. Images of, well, I know it's not actually visible, but they're viewing it through some sort of instrumentation. Yeah, here's the newest. Is it? Well, it's pretty new. May 27th. That's pretty darn new. The most detailed map of the distribution of dark matter in the universe. Okay. It's just a big fucking purple blob. I thought dark matter was dark. It's purple. I love seeing the pictures of different galaxies. Pictures of galaxies. In a galaxy far, far away. 15,000 galaxies in one image. Is this real? Yeah, when we start talking about space, my brain doesn't compute. It just doesn't work. Not at all. Yeah, it's so crazy. Don't mind me, just looking at galaxies here. Yeah, it's just really hard to fathom. It really is. Yeah. These are deep existential questions. I don't know how to handle it. Anyway, today's one of those podcasts where I was like, I don't know what I'm going to talk about at all. And yet here we are, 17 minutes in, and I continue to ramble. Shaved my head today, keeping that thing nice and short. I've had a handful of you guys reach out and be like, grow your hair back. And to you I say, maybe you should have more important things going on in your life than reaching out to me and telling me to grow my hair back. No, I've had just a couple people. There's one person in particular who it's pretty annoying. He messages me every few months. I know him, and he messages me every few months, and he just says something that's and it doesn't mean any ill. This is my sensitivity to criticism, and it's not even really criticism, but he'll just say something like, if I try something new, like my newsletter, he's like, why are you doing that? I follow you for your music. Do your music. And it's like, dude, I want to try other things. He's like, and then when I shaved my head, your hair was great. Why would you shave your head? Grow your hair back out. And then a few other things that were kind of annoying. But, yeah, I just think, and he's not even being critical. But I really like doing my newsletter. In fact, if it's everything I write about, let's pull it up. Not that you guys can see it. Everything I write about in my newsletter, which if you're interested, just go to trevorolsen.com/newsletter, which I'm going to right now. There you go. And but everything I write about there, it's kind of it's something that I'm currently thinking about, or maybe it's something that I'm working through, and writing about it is kind of my means of self-discovery, or at least it's me solidifying my opinion on it. And I never thought I'd be doing any sort of newsletter, and it's not like it's very well known at all, nor is this podcast or really anything, but I do enjoy doing it. I'm getting better at and if you've been following me for a while, you'll know that this has been something that I've been working on. But I'm getting better at, hopefully, at being a bit more aware of what I expect out of my creative endeavors, and not beating myself up if they don't reach the external goals that I was hoping they'd reach. And so instead of, and I don't do it perfectly by any stretch of the imagination, but instead of looking at how many people are listening to my music, or listening or to the podcast, or reading my newsletter, I just am kind of doing it and letting the rest go, trying to do that. And that's definitely been better for me, like psychologically. It's much better for me. But I will say, um, I think I have to work on the same thing with regards to like my relationships with women, or yeah, more so like intimate relationships, meaning like I if when I start to get attention from people, that's it. It's more so just like attention. Like if I start to get attention, there's a part of me that goes like, yeah, ooh, let's get more, let's get more, and I have to consciously be like, if it comes, great, and if it doesn't, great. Like either or, I need to be okay with. I don't need it. I know I don't need it, but when it does come, I'm like, ooh, I can tell that I have it. I really like it, and I can kind of I can get obsessed with it. And then if I do get obsessed with it, or I start thinking about it a lot, then I start to feel inadequate if I'm not getting the attention that I think I want. So, as long as I can stay away from um, if I can just remind myself kind of regularly, like, hey, if you get attention, great. If you don't, great. No problem. Just the only person you should be worried about, approving you is you. And so, as long as I can kind of stay in that mentality and I don't let the attention, like, I don't let it become something more than it should be, I'm good. I'm good. And I'm definitely getting better at that, hopefully. Um, yeah, because I don't know, just growing up, like, doing music since I was pretty young, I've gotten a fair bit of, well, like, local attention, and it's always been really positive for the most part. And I, but I didn't really, and I just came to like expect it. Maybe I came to expect it, and then if it starts to kind of, if I stop seeking it out, then it feels like it's not there, and then I feel like, oh, this thing that's always been there isn't there. Something must be wrong with me. Something. Oh, help, God! Like no, like, so it's something like that. It's something like that. But yeah, definitely just. I'm glad like I kind of became aware of that, and too. I'm not like I said. I don't do it perfectly. Again, letting go of doing things perfectly, but anyway, getting back to like trying new things, I think that's important too. Like even this podcast is a still a very new thing where I do it, twice a week and I was doing it 3 times a week for a while, and I definitely, and I've said this a million times, and I don't do anything about it. I should have guests. I should definitely be talking to people instead of just talking by myself. As much as I can do it, I like podcasts where there's only one podcast that I really listen to who talks by himself. Well, there's two. It's Tim Dillon and Bill Burr, and but I so much rather enjoy conversations. And when I'm talking and it's just me, I've got no one to bounce ideas off of. So maybe something I say is really, really stupid, and I've got nobody to be like, hey, that's a really stupid idea. And I just go along with the flow because I've got no one, excuse me, I've got nobody objecting or anything like that, But is what it is. But I think it's good to try new things, and I would encourage you to try new things, even if it doesn't, it ends up being not what you expect or not what you like. It's like, that's a good thing. You found that out. You didn't have to wonder for years. It's like dating where you can, you start dating someone right away, or you start dating somebody and you find out right away that they're not good for you. It's like, that's actually a good thing. It's actually a good thing to find out right away that there's no match, or it doesn't what there's no compatibility, or there's no chemistry, whatever it may be. Like, it's a good thing to find that out right away, that way you don't waste your time with each other, because I've seen a lot, there's a lot of relationships where people will drag on, and I'm kind of touching back on the last Monday morning message I did with the newsletter, which was entitled "Enriching Relationships," and I wrote about how we will perpetuate patterns even if the patterns are unhealthy and making us miserable, because it's easier for us to just perpetuate those patterns than it is for us to start all over again, and to, let's say, in the dating world, like to start dating all over again, especially if you've previously committed to somebody, say in a marriage, or actually dating, just boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever. Maybe you've moved in together, maybe you have kids together. It's much easier to just stay in the familiar and to perpetuate patterns, even if those patterns are dysfunctional or unhealthy or even harmful. It's just easier. And then starting all over and going out into the uncharted territory, the unexplored domain, the dating scene again, where the unknown is bound to thrust itself upon you. And that's just how it is. But it's, in my opinion, it's much better to, if there's a relationship that's going on that's long past its due date, ending it, well, it's more complex than just ending it. Again, it would depend on the situation, but I don't know, if you're in a miserable relationship with somebody, and you've tried, and you've both tried, and you've done the work, and you've done the therapy, like you've tried everything, and it just isn't working. I'm definitely not a proponent, I'm not like divorce. I don't think divorce should be an easy way out. I really pray to God that I just get married once with a good woman, and we stay together, and we both get our shit together, and then we meet, and then we have a good relationship together. Not a perfect one, but I don't like the idea of divorce. But I understand the idea of divorce, just me personally, and that's definitely coming from me seeing my parents still together after 40 years, 40 miserable years, after 40 years of marriage. I remember I asked my mom, I was like, so what's the secret to staying together for 40 years? And she was really sort of like serious but half joking, and she was just like putting up with a lot of crap. And I was like, that sounds nice. But my parents' relationship isn't perfect. Again, no one's is, but I just keep saying that. And my dad said something else, but it was just funny. My dad heard my mom say that, and he was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" He didn't say that, but it was funny the way the way she said it. But I do hope to be married and have married just the once. But yeah, recognizing and being able to end a relationship before say you tie the knot, or don't just tie the knot to if you're having troubles. Well, things will get better if we just really commit. It's like, no, things will probably get worse, from what I hear, and from what I've heard. So, yeah, just being able to get out of dysfunctional relationships and to break those patterns it's an important skill, and it's a good thing, instead of just staying in a relationship that is dysfunctional, that isn't healthy, that isn't good for either you or your partner. But anyway, all right, friends. Well, I can't believe it. We're already at the end of the show. 30 minutes of rambling. Pleasure as always. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for being here. If you'd like to support the show, head over to patreon.com/Trevor Ohlsen, where you can sign up for exclusive bonus episodes every single Saturday. Except, yeah, I'll be out of the country here coming up in a little bit, but that'll just be temporary. You can also get all sorts of cool shit, letters, handwritten letters from me, t-shirts, all sorts of cool shit, Skype calls, Cool stuff. So come chat with me. Come get to know me. We'll talk. Have a fantastic rest of your day. Keep doing your thing. And we'll see all of you guys on Patreon. Patreon.com/Trevor Ohlsen on Saturday.